Next speaker is Mary Flores.
I'm going to be exceptionally brief compared to the other times I've been here speaking. There's only a couple of things I'd like to make you aware of, and things that I'd like the public to be aware of. First of all, the issue of the environmental safety of our community is something that we were not even aware of that had been done initially with the previous construction of the Cornerstone Church. This should make our city council even more inclined to make sure that the citizens are protected against the environmental contaminants. Now, Pastor Armstrong has clearly stated that this project, later on, he does intend to build other facilities on this property. The city has been made aware of an agreement that we are trying to work out with the church, which was not even up for consideration and not presented to us until this appeal was filed. And I believe that the city's first and foremost responsibility is to protect its citizens above all else. And lastly, I'd like to state that I have not found the public notice in the California of this project. So I don't even know if there has been public notice. Just based on the people that are here today, I would say that it was not. That's something else to consider, that all the legal things that are supposed to be done for this public meeting should have been done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Next is Raymond Johnson.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Just wanted to briefly run through a few things. I submitted a letter so you can read a lot of the details, but one of the problems is this is really an improper segmentation of the project. This is a way of sneaking in a massive portion of a future project to try and avoid environmental review, and that really is inappropriate. The initial study that was done also is badly flawed in a number of ways. One of the really easy things is with regard to aesthetics. It's just not going to be a problem because we're going to, while the cuts may be 140 feet high, we're going to revegetate it, except when you read the geotechnical report, it says that there's a foot of soil, and then under that foot of soil is nothing but rock. And rock doesn't revegetate very well. So the claim that that's going to be revegetated is questionable at best. One of the more troubling aspects is they did no traffic study whatsoever. And existing traffic on Monte Vista runs level service out. And they're proposing to add 30 plus AM peak hour trips and 80 plus PM peak hour trips to an already level service south, which makes it even worse, and that's a significant impact on your CEQA, and they need to prepare an EIR. The other thing is that they totally ignored the fact and said, well, we're just adding parking, we're not adding any new facilities. But if you've got 300 parking places and you're going to add another 700, that's going to increase the amount of traffic that's there simply because it's possible. People who are now carpooling will have to carpool, so they will drive their own individual vehicles. People who are not attending because there's no place to park, that has been removed, so they'll be able to go. So the traffic will increase, and we really haven't mitigated any of the problems with that. It's going to cause severe problems. The air quality analysis, there were a lot of assumptions made in the data that was provided. Those assumptions, which they rely upon to mitigate the air quality impacts below a level of significance, are not required in the conditions of approval. So there will be significant air quality impacts as a result of the project, and they need to prepare an EIR. With regard to noise, almost laughable if it wasn't so sad, and that is that they really ignored the impact of construction equipment on nearby houses, and simply said that, well, if it's bad enough that it's going to cause hearing damage, then we'll do some mitigation. But if it's less than something that's going to cause hearing damage, there's no mitigation that's really designed to reduce the noise levels, which are 6 times the maximum allowed within a residential property. That's a significant impact. Limiting it to daytime hours doesn't help any. It's still a significant impact during those daytime hours. There have been a lot of court decisions and riverside courts on that. So that needs to be addressed. There are a lot of problems with it. Mitigation measures that are there are uncertain, vague, unenforceable, and those need to be cleaned up. Bottom line is they need to prepare an EIR, and the EIR needs to consider not just the expansion of the parking area, but it needs to consider the ultimate expansion projects for that site. Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, thank you very much.
Last speaker I have is Jerry Hall.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, staff. Meant for this to be on the general comments section. I think I marked it that way. I have one other thing on the safety citation issue, if I may. I'd like to thank those members on the council and the community that were responsible for putting on Wildomar's first Veterans Day ceremony. I thought it was really nice. I especially enjoyed the choir, and thank you very much. And that's what I appreciate. Now for the bad news, which you guys are always expecting from me. It's brought to my attention that there are members on this council that are members of the congregation of Cornerstone Church. And in my opinion, they should recuse themselves from any discussions or votes on this issue. Because I'm afraid of any conflict of interest and litigation on that down the road. So that's where I feel on this, is that those members should be recusing themselves from this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.